Can I ask you a very difficult question? And please, I want you to be honest. If your spouse treated someone of the opposite gender exactly the way you treat your best friend, would you honestly be comfortable? I want an honest answer, okay? Because many marriages are under pressure today. Not because someone committed adultery, but because someone failed to protect healthy boundaries. So let us talk about it. To me, I believe there's nothing wrong with you having friends after marriage or even having friends with the opposite gender. But the day you said I do, every friendship became subject to your marriage. And that is why I personally believe it is much safer not to have a very close friend or best friend of the opposite gender after marriage. Not because every friendship will become inappropriate, no, but because emotional closeness has a way of quietly crossing boundaries before anyone even realizes it. Most emotional affairs that happened did not start in the hotel room. No. They started with innocent conversation like, all those daily check-ins, inside jokes, or things like, I just needed someone to talk to. Or, my friend is the only one who really understands me. Yeah, that's how it starts. Nobody wakes up planning to destroy their marriage. Nobody. That's why boundaries are very important. And I hope we know that boundaries are really crossed overnight. I'm sure you know that, right? But if you now believe that you cannot avoid having an opposite gender friend, then you have a responsibility to do. Yes. Your spouse should never have to compete with your friend for emotional security. No. If your friendship constantly make your spouse feel threatened, then regardless of your intention, something needs to change. Yes, of course. It does not matter whether this friend came before marriage or after marriage. Marriage changes priority. Yes, your spouse deserves to feel emotionally safe. So how do you now make this happen? The very first suggestion that I will give is for you to practice complete transparency. Yes. If this person is truly just a friend, like you said, why should your conversation be a secret? Why delete chats? Why hide phone calls? Why become defensive every time your spouse asks a simple question about this person? Secrecy creates suspicions. I hope you know. Even faithful people become suspicious when something constantly is hidden, when you are hiding something. Instead of saying, don't you trust me? Ask yourself, please. Am I making trust easy for this person? Remember this, please. Whatever your spouse does not know, maybe because you've been keeping it away from them, their mind will naturally try to fill in the blanks. Yes. And honestly, you can't blame them by the time they start suspecting you. So please carry your spouse along. If it's business, keep it as business. If it's just friendship, keep it at friendship level. Don't blur the lines. Don't make your spouse start suspecting things that are not there. Okay? And the second suggestion is, don't build two separate worlds. Okay? Introduce your spouse to your friend. Let them know each other. Yeah, healthy friendship should never require secrecy. In fact, many genuine friends eventually become family friends. It depends on how you do it. And sometimes they even become closer to your spouse than they are to you. That is if you handle things well. And that's beautiful when that happens. Because if someone genuinely cares about you, they should also respect and value your marriage. And friendship that only survives in private deserve a second look. We need to look at it well. Yeah. So the third thing that I'm going to suggest is make your boundary obvious. Let it be known. Let it be seen. Let your friend know that your spouse knows about the friendship that you have with them. Don't create the impression that your spouse is being kept in the dark. That simple steps communicate that my marriage comes first when you make it obvious. And if your friend becomes upset because your spouse knows about your conversation with them, then please pay attention to that. Because healthy friends don't compete with healthy marriages. And also, avoid situations that create unnecessary emotional intimacy with your friend. If your friend is single, they shouldn't always be inviting only you to lunch. Yes, or to movies, or late night conversation, or weekend outing. Only you. Your marriage should always be respected, okay? And the first thing that I'm going to say is, please honor your spouse with your attention. Yeah, that's very, very important. Don't consistently spend more quality time laughing, testing someone else while your spouse watches from a distance. No, ask yourself one honest question. If your spouse smiles every time one particular person's name appeared on their phone and they answered their calls immediately, shared exciting news with them before telling you, or depended on their friends they depended on their friend emotionally, would you really be okay with that? I know sometimes most people will say, oh yeah, I would be okay, until it starts happening. That's when you know that it's not okay. Yes, because the truth is, if you truly love your spouse, you will eventually feel the distance after some time. And the golden rules still applies. Don't do to your spouse what you wouldn't want them to do to you, okay? And finally now, protect your spouse honor. That's the fifth thing. Protect their honor. Please don't make your opposite gender friend know don't let them be your what's it called, emotional dumping ground. Stop telling them every weakness of your friend, of your partner, every disagreement, every frustration you have with your spouse. So instead of that, speak well of your spouse to your friends. Celebrate them. Protect their dignity in the presence of your friend. Not everyone has the emotional maturity to know someone's weaknesses and still respect them. That's why you want to be careful. The more negatively you describe your spouse, the easier it's become for your friend to lose respect for them. And sometimes, without even realizing it, comparison begins to happen. Yes, then emotional attachment follows. So please, protect your marriage before you are forced to repair it, okay? Now, after doing all these things that I mentioned, the 5 things that I mentioned, your spouse may still feel uncomfortable. That's okay. That does not automatically mean they are insecure. It doesn't automatically mean they are controlling. It simply means they are expressing how they feel to you. So meaning that you need to be conscious. And your spouse has the right to those feelings. Yes. Love is not just about proving you are innocent every time. Love is about you making your partner feel safe. And sometimes maturity means saying, oh, this friendship is not worth disturbing the peace of my home. Marriage is full of choices. And one of the greatest choices you will ever make is deciding what deserves the highest access to your heart. So please, let me leave you with this question. Who has the greatest access to your heart? Your friend? Or the person you stood before God and promised to spend the rest of your life with? Please choose wisely. Your marriage is worth protecting. So please protect it well. All right? Don't let any friend come between you and your partner. Because if you allow that to happen, that means you're not being wise enough. Okay? All right. Thank you so much. And please take note of those 5 suggestions. Okay? Thank you and God bless you.